This video is brought to you by Scopic.com. Get yours now.
Hey guys, welcome back. This is Phil from Untitled.com. So we're going to take a look at Xiaomi Mi Max with the 6.44 inches massive display. This is not a phone, this is not a tablet, it's a phablet. Not a fan of that name, not a fan of the size, but there's always a demand for that. So let's dive right in. There are a few ways to unlock the phone, including the PIN code, passcode, or your fingerprint. You can generally put your finger onto the fingerprint reader and it will instantly unlock the phone. Now, this is one of the fastest and most accurate fingerprint reader that I've tried. I sweat quite a lot and this reads it perfectly. What you'll see after that is the display. It comes with the 2.5D glass, as you see over there. It looks pretty beautiful. It also helps with the sliding the menus from your left hand side. The display itself is quite bright, quite well saturated, and it's quite good in the quality. If you're not exactly a fan of the default settings, you can always go to colors and contrast to go warmer, cooler, or increase or standard contrast. We do have to mention about the sizes. As a 6.44 incher, it's got a quite good screen to body ratio. The screen is filling up almost entirely with the front facade over there, and if you want to compare it with the one of the first generation tablets like the Galaxy Tab over here, you can see that the differences in the sizes covering up the Galaxy Tab gives us a lot more space to be filled up over there. Of course, that's only compared with the tablets. If you want to compare that with the standard size phones, then it gets massive just like that. Running behind this entry model of 3GB of RAM and 32GB of storage is a Snapdragon 650 processor. If you want to go to the upper tiers, there's a 64GB of ROM and 128GB of ROM that comes with 4GB of RAM. And for the latter two, they have the Snapdragon 652 that is slightly faster than the Snapdragon 650. You might worry about the performances because it starts with the 6 rather than the 8 of the flagships, but it has a performance of the last generation flagship like the Snapdragon 801. I'm not exactly much of a gamer over here, so I only run the casual games like the Crossed Road, but even if you run more of a graphic intense game like the 3D games, you wouldn't have to worry because it's got enough processing power for the resolution of the full HD. The part that I like the most about this Mi Max is the battery. Touting a 4850 milliamps of battery, it successfully gave us how long hours? Listen to this, 7.5 hours of the screen on time. And this was without any power saving mode, as I usually test my phone, and with no Wi-Fi connection. So if you get more Wi-Fi connection and use more of a battery saver than I do, then you should be able to gain even more than the 7 or the 7.5 hours. Charging the battery is the micro USB port on the bottom, and it supports Quick Charge 2.0, although the bundled charger does not support that. If you use a Quick Charge enabled charger, then you will be able to fill up to 100% of the battery within 2.5 hours. Now, that's a quite lengthy charging time, but given the capacity of the battery and considering how long that you can use the phone with, I think that's quite reasonable. Camera is another part that I really liked about. It's got a 16 megapixels of camera with a dual LED flash. And while it does not take the best photo, it takes quite reasonably good photos. And the front-facing camera is no exception. It takes a pretty good picture, although I don't really like the rear texture that it has, but the front-facing camera is equally good as well. And if you have heard this far, you might as well think, wow, that's like too good to be true. And of course there's a catch. The catch over here is a speaker. The speaker on the right hand side over here, the left side is a microphone. The speaker is terrible. It's a mumbly, it's really low in volume, and it cracks down a little. So it's a terrible speaker, but don't worry because the wired headset or the Bluetooth earphone work definitely fine with the little equalizer over here. So you can choose your equalizer, Mi sound enhancer, or the choose headphones type to customize your sound quality, and they're pretty good. So that's quite about it. It's a Xiaomi Mi Max that's got a good display, good battery, good performances, good price. God, it's got a good price. And, acceptable design, good build quality. It's got a little chamfered edges over there. That doesn't look too bad. And it even supports the dual SIM with the 4G and 3G network in the same time. So this is the ultimate phablet. If you want a phablet, here's the answer. You will not be able to find a better phablet as of time being now. If you're not into phablets, like I wasn't, you might want to consider trying this out. You have to experience how good it is to watch something or read something on this gigantic display. I thought it was ridiculous, but it's definitely an eye-opening, literally an eye-opening experience. And to be honest, this isn't that big. With that good screen to body ratio, this isn't that good. Although if I want to compare with this, it gets a little bit ridiculous, but I think it's within the acceptable range of the phones now. So that's the Xiaomi Mi Max. It was an experience to change my perspective on two things. One, Xiaomi. I thought Xiaomi completely failed at making a good smartphone because Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 was terrible and the Mi 5 wasn't exactly a satisfaction. But it turns out Xiaomi makes good phones, a very good phone. And second, to the Phablet, I thought it was ridiculous. I thought it was a terrible idea to carry a phone this big, but you know what? It's not that bad. After all, with that insane battery, I think I might get into this new fad of phablets. So that's my bottom line. It's a good phone, good phablet. There's nothing more that you can ask for a phone, phablet, whichever you want to call it. It's definitely a good phone. You should get it if you can accept this 6.44 inches of a size. Thank you always for watching. You can meet us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and we got a homepage as well. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you guys later. Ciao.